got a very special guest that's been on the show. None other than Cameron Corp, Mr. Power and Precision, Mr. Pro Direct. How you doing, mate?
That's where I love to be like, look, this is trending, this will be good, this will work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of both, really. I just like to get involved. I'm so passionate and enthusiastic that anytime I see an opportunity and I'm like, wow, we've got this player and these boots, let's do this. I was practicing it over the wall, wasn't doing great, kept getting it over the bar, over the fence, and I heard all these lads laughing. And I was like, nah, I'm not having this. So I went and got the small target, stuck it in the top right, 5 shots, I got it in. And when they mic'd him up, I was other side of the pitch, but the mic was rolling straight away, and they sent me the audio files to do like a transcript. And the first thing he said, oh, that guy's quite good. And I've got that on clip and I've saved it. I'm like, that's Bruno saying that about my free kicks. I was like, wow. Literally people at the pitch who know me that I don't know them, who have said like, can I go and go? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, go and go for my content. I'm sorry to all of them, because knuckleballs are not fun.
What a save from Mark Howard.
Hey there, I'm Mark Howard, professional goalkeeper and the host of the Yours Mine Away podcast. Today I'm thrilled to share my secret with you. When I got my hands on active collagen, it was an absolute game changer for me. As football players, we all want to train hard, play harder and recover faster. Since rupturing my Achilles 6 years ago, I've relied on collagen supplements to help me remain injury-free. After trying various brands, I found my perfect match with UPerform. Packed with 2 unique bioactive collagen peptides, it's the UK's #1 choice for both prehab and rehab. Say goodbye to injury worries and hello to enhanced performance. Collagen is key for your muscles, your tendons and ligaments. But here's the kicker, as we age, we lose it. UPerform's active collagen doesn't just replenish, it turbocharges your natural collagen production. Simply take 1 gel a day, it really is that simple. And for the result, feel unbeatable and keep playing your best game on and off the pitch. I wouldn't recommend anything that I don't believe in. UPerform is the real deal. And just for you, they're offering an exclusive saving. Click the link in the description below and use code MARK20 at checkout. Join professional footballers all over the world that now take active collagen to make injuries a thing of the past and recover faster. Grab yours now and transform your game. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Thank you all for listening, and please make sure you are like, follow and subscribe in the channels across all platforms, by the way. I need to also mention our surroundings today. I've been filming content at Ware FC near London. I need to say a big thank you to them for letting us borrow the AstroTurf and the boardroom, because I've got a very special guest that's been on the show. None other than Cameron Corp, Mr. Power and Precision, Mr. Pro Direct. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm buzzing that you're in. Obviously, we've done some content today. I'm buzzing to have you on a podcast as well. Different surrounding to me. I'm normally with a lovely studio in the background. This is different.
Yeah, I've seen your videos online, and still cool to be here, and absolute pleasure to have you in attendance, and thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah. We played a little bit of Goalie Wars earlier on.
It was good, got competitive.
Very competitive.
And,
Standard was very high.
Standard was very high.
Yeah.
I think I surprised myself, and you didn't surprise me at all in terms of I knew you were going to be class, so it was good fun.
No, it was buzzing. It was really good content. Make sure you're checking that out on both of our channels. I've also done a little bit of filming with a Jubilani. He's horrible for goalies.
Yeah, you did well. You did very well,
Yeah.
but we'll let the audience see later.
Yeah. Also, I just want to apologise if you can hear any background noise. There is actually a football match going on outside right now. So if there's any cheering or booing or bad language, apologies. Right. As I said, working for Pro Direct, can you tell me how you started at Pro Direct?
Of course, yeah. It's crazy journey, because I've done my own social media under Power and Precision for coming up to 10 years in May.
Wow, 10 years, yeah.
10 years, started in May 2014.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to celebrating it. And in the midst of doing all of that, about 2.5 years ago, I quit my day job to pursue my YouTube full time. And in that small 1 month period of starting, Product headhunted me because they were looking for a producer. I wasn't a producer, but I did have all the experience of being a social media creator, and I think they saw the potential in me bringing a new way of working for the access and opportunity they get. So I was brought in, as I said, as a producer to work underneath someone, and I sort of took my skill set, applied it there, got to work with athletes, get to work with all the latest product, which is a dream for me. And yeah, that was in November 2021.
Yeah, so all the creative ideas, a lot of them down to you, or you told, this is the product today, this is what you're going to shoot?
It's definitely a mix. Like, I think there's some projects I'm lent on more than others. We've got a very wide production team. And I'm now transitioned into a slightly different role where I'm more product focused, and it's all about authentication and how can you make the product look good and sell it, etc. So I always like to input my ideas when it comes to like player stuff as well. So when we do challenges and we have YouTube talent, that's where I love to be like, look, this is trending, this will be good, this will work. But yeah, it's a bit of both really. I just like to get involved. I'm so passionate and enthusiastic that anytime I see an opportunity and I'm like, wow, we've got this player and these boots, let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah, class, mate. Honestly, I love watching the Pro Direct stuff. I've loved watching your stuff as well. Do you find it hard to mix that?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a challenge because as much as I love coming up with everything, it's sometimes I wish I was in front of the camera doing it as well. So it's finding that balance between understanding my role and taking the back seat, if you like. But yeah, it can be a challenge, but I love it. And I genuinely want the best product on screen. And I just see it as a fantastic opportunity to work with world-class athletes. Like, who can say they do that?
And test the products.
Yeah, literally. Like I get to see the products months, even years before they come out. So it's difficult because I have to sit on it knowing what's coming. But also it's like an incredibly cool thing for a boot nerd.
You haven't shown me the Adidas boots that are out soon, have you?
I know. I can't show you.
You can't show me.
I'd love to, but special.
Obviously, I've got on the table today the pair of Trent ones that obviously I managed to get through Pro Direct, and thank you to that. Not even through you either.
No, it wasn't.
I did it the official way. I applied for the ballot and managed to get the pair.
And genuinely, you're one of the lucky ones because I think these are pretty limited. I've seen the resale price on eBay as well. So you're a very worthy holder of these, and I hope you do break them in at some point.
Yeah, I definitely will. I think there'll be a pre-season game. Nice little one. Nice grass on the pitch.
Yeah.
Don't want to get them too dirty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe just a warm-up, maybe.
Just a warm-up.
What brands do you love working with? Do you have a favourite brand? Obviously, I've always worn Adidas boots, and I love Sells gloves. I've tried all other stuff and that, but you always end up going back to what you know and love.
You do. That's very true. I think with me, for like boots I wear, because I'm very niche. Like I take free kicks. I don't play. I stopped playing when I started my YouTube channel. So I always wear what's the latest. That's perk of the job for sure. And I'm a nerd, so I like to test out the new products. I'm wearing the laced version of the Predator at the moment because I just love it for striking the ball, all these grip elements.
Yep.
But I've always been a Mercurial guy at heart. Like always worn Nike Mercurials ever since I was a kid. Like before social media, before I did what I do. And also so much love for Puma. I know that's very broad. I'm ticking all of them, but genuinely like Puma, I think they've come up leaps and bounds with their products. So it's hard to pick a favourite, but definitely cycle through all of them in my boot collection.
See, we were talking about it during filming earlier on. It's normally due to the players that you grew up watching.
Yes.
So obviously, I was the Adidas era of David Beckham and Zidane and
cracking era, by the way.
Casillas, Van der Sar. So like, I was like, I'm Adidas, and I literally don't own Nike gear.
Yeah, mad. I mean, I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. Like, that's no secret. Yeah. Big Sue. So I've always followed in his footsteps in terms of like the products he wears and followed him around the world of his clubs. So I think that's where my Mercurial love definitely started, and I've collected loads of his football boots. But yeah, that was like my era. It was like 2007 to 2008 when he was at his peak, and the boots that he wore at the time, they were orange Mercurial with a lace cover, and they were one of the first pairs that I ever bought as a kid. Unreal. And then when I got older and got a job, it was the first pair of boots I went and bought as an adult because I was like, I need these for my collection. Yeah. I want to wear them, have that nostalgic feeling. Special boots.
And you are a collector now, aren't you?
Yeah, sadly, if my mum's watching, she knows that my hallway is full up with them all on display. But yeah, big collector.
How many pairs do you reckon you have? Football boots alone?
Football boots alone, I reckon it's definitely over 250. It's probably pushing towards 300 pairs now.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have one? Is that orange pair the one pair?
Do you know what they're not?
Favourite?
No, my favourites.
Surely it's an R9.
I've got the original R9s and I love them. And it was Kieran that actually gave them to me because I filmed, because he bought them for a video and flipping wore them. Because of course he did.
Controversial.
So I got those in the collection. But now my favourites, and I paid a lot of money for them and I hunted them down because I've wanted them ever since they come out. When Ronaldo won his third Ballon d'Or, he was given like a gold and black pair, and it was limited to 333 pairs of the three representing his third Ballon d'Or. I missed out on them when they released because I was like 16. I didn't have the money for them. So I ended up paying about 15 times their retail price or something stupid. But I'm the very proud owner of them now. And they sit in a box, in a cupboard.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will.
Yeah, but they were like one-off pieces almost. I know you're saying 350 pairs, but for you, having them, that exclusivity, it's not just about you owning them, it's the bragging rights, it's what goes with it.
It is like totally nail on the head, because my girlfriend, my mum, like a lot of my family members that I talk to, they get it because I've explained it to them that it's not about the value, it's not about their rare, it's just about owning them and being part of like an exclusive club almost. So yeah, there's a few pairs where I'm the very proud owner of them, but they are up there. They are probably number one.
I know we talked about this a little bit off air, but how much do you reckon you actually spend yearly on boots?
Well, annually,
because you get to see them all first, and obviously with Pro Direct you manage to get in front of the queues.
Yeah, so I think.
But as a collector, it's you're also keeping the value in them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't buy anything willy-nilly just for the sake of it. I try and buy things that mean something to me, but also I see future value. And I'm talking like 10, 15 years, not 1 year, 2 years. I'm not a reseller. I don't flip stuff. I don't think I've actually ever sold a pair of boots that I've bought or been given. It's more stuff that I've just turned over because I don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be a couple grand. Because, I mean, boots now, like 250 quid a pop.
Yeah.
And if I don't get a discount, like that's a lot of money very quickly.
Adds up, yeah.
Bought a few Predators lately because they're just the hype and they look unreal. So, yeah.
I knew you appreciated me bringing down my Jubilani as well.
Yeah. When you pulled that out and then you saw my reaction, I was like, man, I hate you. Because like I've got one of these, mine is punctured and ruined, but I refuse to throw it out in case there's someone out there and if they're watching that can fix it. Fantastic. But I don't want to get rid of it because of its value, and that is
it's in good condition as well, isn't it?
You could get a lot of money for that.
That's an actual match ball that a long time ago, obviously it was over 10 years ago, I managed to get one off the kit man. I've got a couple of other balls in my... I've always picked up a couple of balls here and there, and
yeah.
I didn't realise how good a condition the one that I had, because it was only used for one match.
No, that is literally immaculate. I'm extremely jealous.
Yeah. Right, I've got a couple of quickfire questions.
Hit me.
And a couple of them will be goalie based.
Go for it. I'm keen.
Catch or parry?
Parry.
Yeah, it's for YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah,
Makes better clips.
And also for me. I don't think I'm catching anything. But
True, yeah.
Parry.
Right, play it short or kick it long?
Kick it long.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah, because I can kick it far.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm saying that.
Got very good technique, mate. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Right, who's your favourite ever goalkeeper?
That's a great question. Favourite ever goalkeeper? I'd probably have to say like Peter Schmeichel. Just because of what he achieved at United.
A United fan then, yeah. Big United fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter Schmeichel.
Peter Schmeichel makes sense. Van der Sar, mate, honestly.
Another fantastic player, and that era of
how
players.
Could you not have picked him at the age you are? He won you everything.
Yeah, he did. I'm going more for the Man United fan base. But yeah, I'm a proper fan.
Yeah. De Gea for you is incredible.
De Gea, still think we slept on him, and I don't think we should have got rid of him, but there we go.
It's a shame to see what's happening to him now, and obviously still being without a club.
It baffles me.
Honestly, it's mental, but it is what it is. Right. Who's the best goalkeeper in the world right now?
That is a tough question. I don't know if I can give you a quick fire answer for that. I genuinely don't know.
It's a high standard.
Because I'm sorry to go on. I think the standard of goalkeeping has come along massively in the last decade.
100% has. Yeah.
And like some of the names now, like your ter Stegens, your Alissons, your Edisons, like playing with your feet.
Yep.
I don't know if I could name one.
Yeah, and the way that Neuer moved the game along.
Yeah. Who would you go for?
Right now, Alisson.
Yeah.
Alisson.
I was going to say Alisson, but
Alisson, Edison, Courtois, ter Stegen, Neuer. Donnarumma's an unbelievable beast. Martinez.
Yeah,
there's some really good goalkeepers about.
And I love it.
I love his antics.
All for it.
It works. His penalty antics work. It's unbelievable. If you can get that edge, why not?
Yeah, don't knock it until you try it, sort of thing, isn't it?
Right, and then, so this is your goalkeeper head on.
Okay.
It's the last minute of a game. You can go up, score a goal. It's a winner. Or you can save a penalty, and it means you win the game.
Saving a penalty.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, you got to score a goal.
Oh, as in, I'm the actual goal scorer.
You're the goalkeeper in the team. Which one would you rather do?
I'm taking the. Sorry, I thought you meant like the team scores.
Nah.
I'm doing like an Allison against.
Yeah, you're doing an Allison.
Get me up in that corner
Yeah,
box.
exactly.
I'm there. Get me in the penalty box.
Just put. There's a statue ready to be built for any goalkeeper that scores any goal. I'm telling you.
Literally, I agree.
Right, I want to talk about some of the footballers you've worked with.
Yes.
Because you've worked with some of the world's best footballers.
Yes.
How do you put that into terms of like, do you consider yourself lucky, or do you find that you've obviously worked so hard and you've done YouTube for 10 years and you've put yourself in the right positions to get these opportunities?
Yeah, I think like first and foremost, 90% of the player access has come through my job with ProDirect, which I will never, ever not be grateful for. And I've never shied away from the fact that that is how I've got that access. Yes, I feel incredibly lucky, but I also feel incredibly proud because I know that I didn't know that's what I was working towards, but I knew that my whole YouTube stuff would hopefully lead me somewhere. If it wasn't a YouTube full-time job, it would lead me to something, and I think it's led me to that. And I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and I'm definitely more desensitized to being like, oh my God, that's so-and-so, but I'm still incredibly grateful and pinch myself after every shoot.
Right, who's the best player you've worked with?
So many people ask me this, and it's so hard to pinpoint.
Because you've got to factor in personalities and the content that you got out of people as well.
This is the thing, and I also have tried to measure it on who is actually the biggest player. And I think if I'm going off the biggest player, it's got to be Sergio Ramos because he's won everything.
He's won everything.
In club football, he has won everything. Euros, World Cup, La Ligas, Champions Leagues. He's won it all. I always go back to him, but
it's a great shout though.
It is. And I've met him a couple of times, and it's just.
That's mad. Sergio Ramos, unbelievable legend. Right, I'll put you on the spot.
Go on.
Who's the worst?
Who's the worst? Do you know what?
You must have one person that stands out.
I wouldn't say there is, which is crazy because I know you're probably thinking there is, but there's don't get me wrong, like shoot days, there's good days, there's bad days. Sometimes players aren't in the best of mood, but there's no one that's been like stood out as like, oh, didn't enjoy that. There's players that have been difficult to work with, and I've always found it's more to doing with management and like the treatment around them, and they're like sort of bubble wrapped a bit.
Yep.
And the players I enjoy working with the most are the younger ones because they're so in the social media space where they've got no filter and they're just like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. So sorry to disappoint you, but I don't know. There's not really anyone that comes to mind.
I suppose the younger ones, obviously seen some of your content and seen YouTube football content, but it's also that they appreciate that space because they probably watch a lot more of it, where the older ones have probably got families to get home to and kids to get home to and thinking, oh, if this takes too long, I can't do the school run. No,
absolutely. And with my experience of working with some players, there's a handful of players I've been lucky enough to work with more than once. And it's been quite a long time period between working with the first time and recently. And some of the players have changed a lot in terms of the first time I worked with them, very, corporate's the wrong word, but very to themselves, closed circle, not too open and friendly to the cameras. Lovely people. And then I've met them like a year or so later. And I think, again, with me coming into my job, I know that when I came in, I was coming in such a passionate perspective of like, do this, like sweat the time with the players, get them doing normal things that me and you could do. Well, sorry, no, you are a pro, but me and you and your mate can do at the park. Yep. Get it doing with a player because it humanizes them. It makes them look normal. And so many of them have, I think, got it and they've adapted. And I'm not saying this to name drop, but someone like Harry Kane, I've worked with him twice. And the first time I worked with him, he was great. And I could tell he was trying to be quite media friendly, but it wasn't natural. Second time I met him, complete different person. Yeah. Really more chilled out and aware and just, it's interesting to see the development of some players. And I think social media is just playing such a big part in that.
That's class though. That's really good to hear though. That obviously people were more accustomed to it, more humanized to it.
Absolutely. And it makes personally my job a lot easier. Yeah. And it makes the content better. And I think it's just better viewing all round.
Yeah. Right, I've got a list of a few players here.
Go on.
I want like one-word answers or a small sentence that sums up these players, yeah?
Okay.
So you've worked with Mo Salah.
Yeah. Humble.
Yeah, good. Marcus Rashford.
Hungry.
Yeah.
He was very competitive.
Was he? Yeah, good. Love that.
Do you know what? I say it, most footballers I work with are competitive. Even the mini challenge games, they want to win. They don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And it's just nice.
Good. Sergio Ramos.
He, really friendly, but really intimidating.
Yeah, I can imagine though, because of his caliber.
And I think I'll give you the biggest way to explain this as a mini story. He speaks good English. I did research on him, couldn't find him speaking any English. He speaks great English, and he was lovely. I told him I was a big fan. He gave me a cuddle when I first met him. I heard him speak in Spanish. He's got such a deep voice, and I was like, if he's my captain and he's shouting at me, I'm putting my life on the line for that man.
Yep.
And I was like, he is what a captain is. So when I heard him speak in Spanish, I was like,
got me.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, intimidating, but really friendly.
Good. Harry Kane.
He's very competitive and also just lovely.
Yeah.
Really, really nice guy.
Right. Trent.
So technical.
Yeah.
So
Techie
technical.
and his passings.
Like it's one thing seeing it on a football pitch and seeing it through a TV screen. Seeing it in person and like him talking through what he does, next level.
Yeah. Right. Frankie de Jong.
Very funny.
Is he? Yeah. He just looks like the nicest kid in the world.
Do you know, that's what he's a big kid. He was lovely. Again, he got the social media thing. Like he fully immersed himself in it. We're doing challenges. Yep, I'll give you a bit of banter. Brilliant. Very easy to work with.
Right. And Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish. He's exactly as you'd imagine him to be. He's a bit away with the fairies is unfair. He's not, but he's just like in the moment. Yeah. He's brilliant. He's one of my favorite people. I got to work with him for about 12 minutes, so I hardly got to build a relationship, but loved him. He was brilliant. Right.
Obviously, I can't mention everyone. So you might have a couple of favourites. I want you to bring up a couple of favourites. I did have Bruno Fernandes on the list as well, being a United fan.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is definitely up there because I worked with him very early on when I first got my job, and I was still quite new, so I had that buzz about meeting players. Managed to score a free kick in front of him in the top corner, which went into a target. He clapped me. He was very impressed. And I remember Product did an interview with him afterwards. And when they mic'd him up, I was other side of the pitch, but the mic was rolling straight away. And they sent me the audio files to do like a transcript. And the first thing he said, Carl, that guy's quite good. And I've got that on clip and I've saved it. I'm like, that's Bruno saying that about my free kicks. I was like, wow. So I'll take that to
my text message tone coming through every time.
Just a little alert.
Oh, he's quite good.
But I remember just getting in the taxi back from that shoot and I was literally smiling ear to ear because I was like, how on earth have I just filmed with one of my favourite players for my club and I've performed well? So, but he was really friendly as well.
Yeah. Have you got any others that stand out?
The only other one I am definitely gonna brag about and show off is Diogo Dalot.
Yeah.
Because I worked with him very recently when he signed for Puma. We got on really well. We picked him up from his house. I did an interview with him in the car to the shoot location, shot with him all day. He followed me afterwards and we've exchanged messages. I saw him again on another shoot the other day. And he is so normal and so human and he's so in touch with the fan base and the club and humble. And as a fan, when you see that in a player, and I think because I've been able to see it on a personal level, not just as a fan perspective, it makes me respect him and the club so much more, even though we're going through a bit of a rocky time.
Yeah, fair play. Have you got one video that stands out that you've shot? There must be one bit of content, whether it's your own or through ProDirect, that you're like, yeah, that's the one. That just ticks all the boxes.
I would say the free kick with Bruno Fernandes because it was, again, I was so new to the stuff, and it was, I know that both internally and externally from like my friends, there was a lot of pressure on me because it's like, oh, you do all these free kicks on the internet, are you actually any good? And then it's like, I got 5 attempts and I banged one in front of Bruno. Like that literally was a dream to me. The only way it could top it is if it was Ronaldo.
Yeah, fair play.
Probably that one.
Yeah, right. While we're on the free kicks thing, we talked about this earlier on, about how many free kicks you actually take.
Oh, my God.
And the amount of shots you take per week. How is your thigh not hanging off?
I don't know. I'm built differently, I'd say, but I think I've built myself differently because it's just been working it up every single week for 10 years.
Yeah.
but I don't know how it's not.
Yeah.
I've
How
had a
many
few
shots per week are you taking?
Well, if I film, I normally film once or twice a week, and I film for an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, depending on how long my picture's free. I reckon I must take at least 500 to 1,000 free kicks per recording. So let's say like 1,500, 2,000 a week. You can do the maths.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, I don't go half-hearted. It's never like, okay, I'm feeling a niggle or I need to be kept. I get the content, and for me as well, a lot of time I go to the pitch, there's other people training, and I hear them like laugh at me when I'm like hooning one over the fence because they're like, oh, he's got a tripod out. They don't know what I do. They don't need to know what I do. I don't care. But like for me, there's so many times where I just want to practice. Like I genuinely want to master. Like I was saying to you earlier, one of the things I'm really bad at is getting it over the wall in the near post. I was practicing it loads the other day. This is going on a side note, right? And I was practicing it over the wall. Wasn't doing great. Kept getting it over the bar, over the fence. And I heard all these lads laughing. And I was like, nah, I'm not having this. So I went and got the small target, stuck it in the top right, 5 shots, I got it in. And they didn't say anything, but I knew they were all watching. And I was like, I just wanted to prove to myself
that
100%. I can do it. And it's the only time in 10 years I wasn't riled, but I was like, no, I'm not taking this. People thinking like this saddos at the pitch. I was like, I'm going to show them I can actually.
You seem a little bit riled.
Kick a ball.
You bring it up on the podcast.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely want rattled.
Still thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
Right, what's your goalie knowledge like? Huge shout out to Forged Irish Stout for being part of this podcast. Listen to that beauty. An unbelievably smooth, creamy stout by Conor McGregor, the UFC legend. Not here to take part, but here to take over. Forged Irish Stout is on a mission to become the biggest Irish stout. Conor McGregor has taken over the whiskey game. Now he's about to take over the stout game. Me and my guests will be enjoying a few cans in the next few episodes. If you fancy checking it out too, make sure you hit the description below and find out where you can get Forged Irish Stout. Forged Irish Stout will be available in Asda nationwide come August. Let's get back to the podcast.
Not the best.
All right, you've heard about the quiz, goalie or no goalie. I've got 5 MLS goalkeepers for you and 5 sport brand founders.
Go on then. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 point for each correct answer. Trusty scoreboard. I love this scoreboard. Do you think it'd be all right or not?
We'll see how it
It's
goes.
a gamble, mate.
We'll
It's
see
an
how it
absolute
goes.
gamble. Right, number 1, John McCarthy.
That's a goalkeeper.
Adamant?
Yeah.
He is a goalkeeper for LA Galaxy.
Yeah. LA Galaxy. Yeah. Knew that.
Lovely start.
Yeah, 9. That's fine. We'll have 9 points.
1.
Oh, no.
Number 2, Enrico Polgato.
That's a fantastic name, but I'm saying designer. Founder, sorry.
He is the president and CEO of Diadora.
Is he? Wow. Okay, I wouldn't have said Diodora, but that is fine.
Yeah, lovely. Have you had a pair of Diadoras on your feet?
I have.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you'd say that. They were very comfortable.
Yeah.
The thing is, I say this about a lot of brands that aren't Nike, Adidas, and Puma, and I put New Balance in there as well. I just think it's so difficult to compete with the big guys. So they're all right. They held their own.
Yeah. Right. Number 3, Robert Greenberg.
That sounds American. Robert Greenberg. I'm going goalkeeper.
He is not a goalkeeper.
Is he not?
He is the founder of Skechers.
Oh, damn. I hope they don't see this.
And you've just said about the 3 top tier brands as well. So
Yeah, that's a double shoot in the foot.
Yep. Right. Number 4, Carlos Corona.
Yeah, he's definitely a keeper.
He is a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He is New York Red Bulls Paraguayan goalkeeper, actually.
Nice. I was going to say Mexican because I thought South American.
South American name.
Sounding name, yep.
William Riley.
William Riley. Oh. Now, my instinct was going to say he's a founder and owner.
You sticking with it?
Yeah.
Founder and owner of New Balance.
Yes.
4, mate. Flying here.
Yeah, that's
Doing
good,
really
isn't
well.
it? Wow.
Number 6, Yohei Takaoka.
I'm going to say owner, founder.
Yeah? No, he's not. No. No, he's not. He is the Vancouver Whitecaps goalkeeper from Japan. I thought that would definitely throw you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you'd think, like Mizuno or
That's
something.
exactly what I was going to say. And then I thought, no, I won't say it because I don't want to sound too ignorant. But
I threw that in on purpose.
yeah, nice one.
Right, number 7, Martin Paes. Paes.
Ah, so I was going to say goalkeeper, but because of the spelling, I'm going to say designer.
Well, then you'll be wrong.
Ah!
He is FC Dallas goalkeeper. I've got you here on
Yeah,
toast.
I'm rattled now.
Yeah. Right, number 8, Philip Knight.
Philip Knight, that just sounds like a designer, but on that, no, I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, designer,
Yeah,
owner.
you are right because him and Bill Bowerman founded Nike.
Nike. When you said, see, if you said Bill, I'd have told you Nike straight
Well,
away.
that's why I deliberately didn't. Right, number 9, William Yarborough Story.
What an incredible name again.
incredible
So I'm going to go
name.
for goalkeeper.
He is a goalkeeper. What a name. San Jose Earthquakes goalkeeper.
Great name. Great
Right.
name.
And number 10, Adolf Dassler.
Oh, I don't know about this. I'm going to go for owner.
Owner and
Adidas.
founder of Adidas. 7 out of 10, mate. It's good score.
I'll take that. As
Really
well.
good scoring.
7's my lucky number as well.
I
so.
had to put Adidas in there at the end, but I couldn't
Yeah.
make it easy and put it in the middle. Right, I want to go on to some. Well done, by the way. 7 out of 10 is a good score.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Right, I want to talk about some of the goalkeepers you've worked with
Yes,
because you've worked with a few goalkeepers and a few in the content creator world.
I have.
So, can you tell me the best goalkeepers you've worked with, and then we'll then talk about YouTube goalkeepers.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think, who have I worked with goalkeeper? I've done, so from a male perspective, I've done Jordan Pickford, and I think that might be it for male. And I've worked with Mary Earps 3 times. She's brilliant, by the way.
She's class.
She's so good. Like, she's very switched on.
She gets social media as well.
She does, and that's what I like is when the cameras are rolling, she snaps into it. And she's always brings good energy. Seems very, very grounded. She's just great. And then Jordan Pickford, some blokes. I've only worked with him twice, and it's been absolute minimal time, but it's been enough time for me to tell you that he's an absolute legend and I love him.
Yeah.
First time was just in a studio doing a photo shoot, and he's just typical like Geordie lad, just funny. But the second time I worked with him, which was literally a week ago, we did some stuff with some of our YouTube talent, and after the day had finished, we had to do a little video of him for a SMU glove that he's having with Puma, and one of our production team was packing away stuff on the pitch, but he was doing it in a bit of a flustered way, quite far away. And Jordan Pickford was like, "Oh, what's your lad doing?" I was like, "Oh, he's packing away." And he's like, "Should we fuck with him?" I was like, "Go on then." And he's like, "What's his name?" I was like, "Ben." He's like, "Ben." He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're coming back out on the pitch." And he's like, "Oh?" He's like, "Yeah, we're coming back." And he's like, "Oh, sorry." So he makes him put the 2 goals back, and they're like 20 meters apart. Puts his goals back, and he's like, "Ben, they're in the wrong order." And he makes them so that this guy's running around lugging, putting them all down. And then he does it, and he's like, "Ben, I'm only fucking with you like this." And he's like, he just goes across the pitch. And I was like, if there's one way to describe Pickford, he's a full-on wind-up merchant, just banter. But like again, content-wise, he gets it. He's passionate. He's
I've got one.
with.
So my mate won't mind me telling you. So I'm mates with Andy Lonergan,
Yep.
who's obviously at Everton with Pickers. Right?
Yep.
So he plays golf a lot. Both of them do. And then our mate, me and Lonergan share a mate called Dave Tunhead. He's got the biggest head in the world.
Right.
Lucky Dave, Tunhead's class, mate. Great at golf as well. So he's gone and played golf with Jordan Pickford one day. And anyway, he's gone to the next game at Old Trafford to watch Man United v Everton.
Right.
And Jordan Pickford somehow in the warm-up sees him in the crowd, and for the next 5 minutes of Jordan Pickford's warm-up, he is doing golf shots. He's pretending to do golf shots, just looking at Dave.
He's not.
And like, it just goes to show how he can just switch it on and switch it off. And I was like, it's an unbelievable way to be. Like, he's got a game away at Old Trafford, and he can still just go. He's like swinging golf clubs, and you're like, oh my God, it's incredible.
Funny. Yeah, love that. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
What a great story. But yeah, he's brilliant guy to work with.
Yeah. Right, and let's go on to some of the content creator goalkeepers. Obviously, you've worked me today. Where do I rank above
mate
with them?
You're head and shoulders above everyone else, and I'm not just saying that.
Thank Crash for that.
Like, no, but honestly, like aside from obviously creating content, absolute pleasure. And thanks again for your time, because doing stuff for me as well was brilliant, and something that I get a lot of comments online is like, "Oh, it'd be great to see you again do something as a pro keeper." So it's really nice to be able to do that, and like it's so nice to see your passion for it and how you're like enjoying it. It doesn't seem like a job. Do you know what I mean?
not at all.
Like,
I still love it. And
yeah.
Like even today, like there'll be a couple of shots that went in, and I'm still going to go home and think I should have done better there.
Yeah,
and like that's the natural like competitive edge in me. But then there's some that I'm going, oh my god, made a worldie today. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's class that you're like that. And as I said to you off camera, like I think the way you're going with the content and the podcast and everything, like keep driving forward. There's the sky literally is the limit, and it's something that can take you further than your career. So yeah, you did great, and honestly, props to you. I mean, I don't know how I feel about calling you a YouTube keeper because you're literally a professional, but it's for this conversation, sure. Who else? Big John, like love the bloke and hate the bloke because he's so good.
It's unreal what he does.
He is. I've still got a grudge against him because I did a video with on Chris MD's channel where he invited 40 people to take 100 free kicks, and whoever scored the best goal won £4,000. Now, I'm not saying I would have scored the best goal. All I'm going to say is Big John was in goal, and he saved a lot of good shots because he knows which way I like to go and which way I don't. Still salty about it, but no, I love Big John. He's class. I'm trying to think who else have I worked with. I've done like a couple of events with Sam, tomorrow's goalkeeper. Who else have I done stuff with? I'm trying to think now, wrap my brains. I've done stuff with Deck before.
Deck and McCarthy as well, both all been on the pod, all three of them.
Yeah, Deck I haven't worked with for a while. Like I worked with him before he was, I want to say where he is now, because he's massive now. He's really taken over. But worked with him, and he's a great lad. And again, I can tell how goalkeeping is the driver for his content. It's not the content itself, which I think, because it's the same for me, is the most important thing. Like, I go and take free kicks at a pitch for an hour by myself because I love it. If there was a camera there or there wasn't, I'd still be going and doing that. And I think that's important with content, is there can be an incentive and something to work towards, but if you're enjoying it, you're never working. Yeah. And I think that's reflected in him, and I'd say yourself as well, and John. Like, all of you guys are very in that headspace.
Right. Do you think goalkeepers are crazy?
Crazy? Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I think just crazy. Throw yourself about, like get yourself muddy. I've worked with Con O'Keefe a few times, and like Kieran's done videos of him, and he'll like throw himself around on a muddy pitch for a YouTube video on his off day, like
for someone else's channel.
For someone else's channel. I'm just like, are you all right? And then obviously you've got, like for example, we're talking about like Emmy Martinez, nuts. The bloke is nuts. Pickford, nuts. Like, he's just funny banter, but yeah, definitely in a good way, not in a bad way.
No, we're just different. I think because we are so niche and we do our own thing, and I say this a lot on the pod, but like we even train on our own. Like, we're very individual.
I get that.
So obviously people look at us and go, you lot are just bizarre. They don't understand us, and that's half the best bit. No, how do you think you did in goal?
I'm not going to beat around the bush and be like, I actually gave it a good go, and I was like, I was terrible. But I said to you when we walked off the pitch, and I'm not saying I did anything, because I know I didn't, but genuinely, I'd do it again. And I felt more confident, at least diving and landing and not being like, it's going to hurt or go. The only thing I was scared about, genuinely, was the power in your strikes when you were like, I'm going to hit this one. And then when you pulled out the bloody ball launcher.
Yeah, the ball launcher was good fun, though.
So good. And what I said to you again is I've used that so many times myself, being behind it. I don't think I'm ever going to sign up going in front of it ever again.
Yeah. Even off camera, I started taking some wobblers at you, and your face told a picture.
I swear on my life, I think that is honestly the first time I've ever been in goal against a knuckleball. And I say this respectfully, like, that's obviously not your strong suit.
Nah.
But you did enough for me to be like, I hold my hands up. I'm sorry to all my friends who have been in goal for me. Like, over the years, I've had friends to literally people at the pitch who know me that I don't know them, who have said, like, can I go and goal? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, go and goal for my content. I'm sorry to all of them, because knuckleballs are not fun.
It's horrible.
And you throwing yourself around for Jabulani as well.
That was good fun, though, in the end.
Great fun.
There were some great saves, some really good goals in there, by the way. I think the second goal was one of the best I've ever let in.
Mate, I'll clip that right now.
Incredible.
No, it was, when they come off the crossbar, they just look so much more special.
Yeah, they do look so much better.
It was, and I know it sounds silly, but when they're box nets as well, the goals look nicer as
well.
well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
But yeah, no, I was very, very impressed. Not that I wasn't going to be impressed by performance with your standard, but just against the Jabulani and how it, for me, when, you know, if we're talking about the difference between like a YouTube goalkeeper and a professional, it's how you read, developed, and like learn the knuckleball. Like you learn, okay, this ball's going to move, so I can't react too soon. And, you know, at the end, I was struggling to score because even if I was getting on target or making it move, you were reacting so late that it was denied me.
But that's just picking it up naturally. Obviously, I've done this for a long time.
Of course.
So, like, naturally you think, but I still get disappointed when I'm letting goals. And I'm
I
like, this
love
is
that.
for fun.
Yeah,
like, this is meant to be for fun. And I'm like, no, I should
This is what I mean. The competitive nature of professionals is fantastic.
But see, do you get competitive when making content? So, you know, like, obviously you're going to get compared to Chris MD, who rates himself as the best free kick taker. Yeah. You've obviously done an unbelievable video about your stats in free kicks.
Yeah.
Which is, when you was telling me, I find it hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, 397,000 something free kicks. And I literally remember making that video and I actually added a voiceover being like, when you actually think about it, isn't great when you think how many goals I've scored. But anyway, moving on, like, you know, a little side note. No, I don't ever compare myself or feel pressure or like get too competitive. The only time I genuinely like, and I do get like nervous, is if there's like a crowd of people or like I know people are watching me. Like if I was in front of you in a production team and other athletes when I work at Product, genuinely no pressure at all. I don't care what I look like, and I don't even get time to think about my performance. I just work and do it. But if I'm at the pitch and there's like kids that are about to come on and play a full game and I'm trying to finish my content, it can go really well or really bad. Yeah. That's genuinely like when I am a bit like, I get angry at myself because I'll tell you what, I'm competitive with myself.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
That's a good way to be.
It is.
You're striving to make yourself better every time.
Exactly. Like I've had a few episodes where I've done stuff with players and my performance hasn't been great and I haven't cared. But then I've stayed on the pitch for like 20 minutes just taking free kicks because I'm like, I need to prove myself I can do that. Like it was just a shit session. But no, other than that, not with other people, just myself.
Yeah. All right. Finally, right. What's next in content creation for you?
Wow. One thing which was definitely a catalyst of today is like I want to get back to doing more of my own stuff. I'm full-time employed at Product, love the job, love the time I have there and want to continue that. But I want to be more productive with my time away from the job. Yep. Because I have put my own stuff on the back burner a bit. So the more content I can do on YouTube, online, the better. A, from a growth standpoint, but B, just because it is my passion. Like, I can't remember the last time I took a day off work to do what I've done today and had so much fun. Class. And that's the sort of thing where just it really lights that fire and I'm like, this is why I do it. It's not about the views. It's not about the goals. Well, it is about the goals I score because that's a personal thing. I'm like, oh, that's sick. But it's not about anything for a gain. It's just, that's what fuels me. So I'm hoping to do more of my own stuff, carry on with the YouTube, carry on with my job, meet as many players as I can, build out my portfolio and just always be grateful for everything I've got, but always strive to do one better next year, the year after. Yeah.
Right. One thing I just want to address before we finish, right, and I do my outro, is the dedication that you've got, because not a lot of people would have done what you've done today to travel here. Can you say the journey that you've made? Just because I put in a lot of effort on my days off to try and make sure that I'm doing podcasts or content, but like what you was telling me you've done before.
Well, because I don't drive, which I will happily explain to you why. I decided that to get here on time, we're in Ware, so we're an hour and a bit north of London. I got a bus at 2:30 this morning.
From where?
From Taunton in Somerset, where I live. Yeah. So I got a bus at 2:30 this morning and got to Victoria at 6 o'clock. Bus was full, by the way, so I hardly slept. My girlfriend was like, "Oh, sleep on the bus." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
No chance.
No. And I've literally come here on an hour's sleep. And genuinely, I think I told you this. That's one of the best performances I've ever put on.
It was incredible, mate.
And thank you. I genuinely appreciate it, but like I'm genuinely buzzing about myself because I'm like, how's that happened?
Yeah, it was really good. But like, even like, obviously you're saying you got on a bus to Victoria. Then you had to get the train to Ware, and then I've come and picked you up from the station.
Yeah.
And it was when you text me saying, it's only a 30-minute walk, I won't be there long. And I was like, huh? I'm coming to get you.
I'm really into my like sorting my own stuff out.
Yeah.
In a nice way, like in terms of if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'll get there by myself. Like,
Yeah.
and I just, I told you I'm going to be here on time. So when it was like, I could get the later bus 4 hours later that gets me in half an hour later, or I could get the 2 o'clock bus that gets me in 4 hours early. Option B.
You're like a budget hardest geezer.
I've been
Here
called
on
that before.
Africa, you've got to come all the way from Devon. That's class. Brilliant, mate. I've absolutely loved spending a day with you, and obviously, thank you very much for coming on the pod.
No problem. Likewise, it's been a pleasure. And I said this is my first podcast, and I've always wanted to do one. So you're a fantastic host as well.
Cheers, mate.
You speak
Thanks
very
a lot.
well.
So make sure you're checking out Cameron across all socials and his own YouTube channel as well. He doesn't just do photo edits, he's a top bloke as well. Thank you very much, Cameron. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Make sure you're subscribed.
What a save from Mark Howard.